It's 7 o'clock in the morning in southern Georgia, and here comes Jimmy Carter, the hardest working, the fastest moving, and for the moment at least, the most newsworthy politician in the United States. This week, the betting is that this summer, Democrats will choose Jimmy Carter as their candidate in the November presidential election.
Morning,
5 weeks ago, only 4% of Americans knew who Jimmy Carter was. And given the man's name and origins here in the Deep South, the others could be forgiven for thinking him a country and western singer.
Seeing what they think of you, you're obviously a very popular man in this town.
Well, I hope so. I've been here a long time. As a matter of fact, right here where we're standing is where my ancestors farmed when they first came down here to Georgia.
I didn't realize this area was quite so interesting historically. I didn't know, for example, that Andersonville was close to here.
It's about 12 miles from here. This is where Lindbergh bought his first airplane. Right
that I've also found on this very field.
Yes, and on this very field is where my parents and grandparents had their farm.
Jimmy Carter has definitely hit the big time, and this week at least, his momentum looks unstoppable. Jimmy Carter was born 51 years ago in the farming hamlet of Plains, the son of a peanut farmer who did well. He was in the middle of a successful career as a naval officer, specializing in nuclear submarines, when his father's death brought him back to Plains to take over and rapidly expand the family's wholesale peanut business. Carter's small-town origins, his image as a farm boy who made good, are heavily exploited in his campaign commercials.
Sunday school teacher and a former governor.
My folks have been farmers in Georgia for more than 200 years. And we've been living around here for 150 years.
The Carter family rose from its humble origins to dominate Plains in politics and in business. This is the source of Jimmy Carter's wealth, a factory that buys peanuts from local farmers, shells and grades them, and then sells them to manufacturers. The biggest peanut butter factory in the United States is just down the road. Across the road, Jimmy's younger brother, Billy, runs one of the 2 gas stations in Plains. This is a tough town in a tough part of the country. You don't mess around with the Plains people, and you don't mess around with their favorite son.
I don't know why people over the United States think somebody from the South can't be president of the United States. We're just as smart as anybody else in this great country we have.
I'll never tell a lie. I'll never make a misleading statement. I'll never betray the confidence that any of you has in me, and I will never avoid a controversial issue.
Jimmy Carter's 78-year-old mother is a tough lady. When she was 67, she went to India with the Peace Corps. Normally, she campaigns for her son, but this year she's staying at home with his daughter.
One with the shell on the yellow sweater, and don't go near her because she smells bad. I said, Amy, what in the world? They caught some fish, and they've been there, and they're playing with those fish. She has fish all over. I have to let her take a bath so I can take her to town.
This is Jimmy Carter's church. The former governor is a Bible-pounding Baptist. He once preached in churches throughout the South, and his political speeches had a revivalist flavor until his mother told him to take God and the Bible out of his campaign. Carter wanted blacks admitted to this church. The congregation voted on it, and members of the Carter family were the only people in favor. But Carter didn't leave this church and go literally across the tracks to the Black Baptist Church. Given the still rigid social and economic divisions in the South, Carter would feel uncomfortable as a member of this congregation. Which doesn't mean, nevertheless, the black people in this now integrated community are not enthusiastic about Jimmy Carter, the politician, and Jimmy Carter, the man. They are. And here we come to Carter's greatest strength, his ability to win support among the poor and middle-class blacks in the North as well as the South. He did it in Illinois 6 days ago and in Florida 2 weeks ago. It's a state of affairs that perplexes those liberal Democrats who assume that blacks won't support a white ex-governor of a southern state.
I believe people in this country are looking for a candidate for president who can form an intimate relationship between myself and you now and maintain
that closeness between the center of our government and the people of this country after I'm in the White House next January.